you might be missing out on thousands of dollars of rewards and cashback on your dropshipping expenses. Now, if you're running any kind of ads, if you're trying to scale up inventory, or just generally getting started, the right credit card can be super important, and it can also make or break your success with e-commerce or dropshipping. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down credit cards that can save you money, maximize rewards, and even more specifically and also mainly help you manage and maintain cash flow. So stick around throughout all of the video to find out which is the best card for you, whether you're just getting started or whether you're ready to scale up to big numbers. Credit cards are really important because when you're starting out, you're not really going to need one. You're probably going to just need a debit card, like your bank card, just to test products on, and your daily budget is going to be quite low. For an example, you're probably going to be spending like $50 a day or $100 a day. You're not really going to have a high spending budget every single day on ads at the start, but once you hit that gold mine and you get a little bit of traction and you find something which is actually working, you're going to need a credit card 100% to scale. One big reason you need one is because Facebook will sometimes just randomly have declined payments, especially with a debit card, and also if using a debit card, there's a higher chance that your bank will also decline certain transactions. When I was using a debit card for the longest time, even when I was about to scale my first winning product, the big problem I had was my bank just kept declining Facebook ads transactions. It does this just as an anti-fraud measure, and also one big thing is when you're warming up a new ad account and you've just made a new one, the daily spend limit will be really low. Also charge you very frequently at the start, so they might charge you on your bank for transactions as low as $5 in ad spend, and those cumulatively will all add up, and eventually it will hit the transaction limit and your card will block it, your ad account will get suspended, or your daily spend limit will go lower as well. So it's really important just to generally have a credit card, and it can even be beneficial just to use one to start out. But you do need to know how to manage your credit score and make sure you don't get into debt, which we'll be talking about first before we get started. I'm going to be covering just a few credit cards which I've researched and found to be quite useful, specifically two of which I have personally used myself and I know they're good. So I'm going to be talking about my personal accounts with those, and some others which might be attractive or useful for beginners or advanced people trying to scale. Now, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend, or at least tens of thousands, before getting a credit card. So I ended up wasting a lot of money I could have potentially got in rewards points. Missing out on these means that you're going to be missing out on potentially free flights, maybe hotel rooms or flight upgrades or lounge access in airports. There's just a whole lot of different membership perks you can get access to with the right credit card. So you may as well just have it. If you're going to be able to pay the money back anyway, you may as well get a credit card to take advantage of those points because you're going to be spending the money anyway. So before I get started into the top cards, I just want to go through a little bit of a disclaimer because I do know there will be some beginners who are looking to this video for advice, and there will also be some people who are seeking my guidance to find the right card and they may not be very well educated. So let's first clear up a few things. So this video is basically for informational purposes only. It's not meant to be any kind of financial, legal, or professional advice. Do remember I'm not actually a licensed or registered financial advisor, so I can't technically give you financial advice, and also I can't guarantee the stability or the outcome of any creditor or credit card you use or corporation and their long-term time horizon or performance. And a strategy will personally need to be tailored for your specific situation. So I would advise you first of all, before jumping into this video, to do a little bit of your own research externally in other places. Maybe consult an actual financial advisor or a qualified professional to make those choices on your behalf or based on your personal circumstance. Remember, using credit cards for personal use or for business use can obviously incur financial losses or financial risk, including getting yourself or your business into potential debt if you don't know how to manage it correctly. So by watching this video, you do agree to the fact that I'm not responsible for any kind of financial outcomes caused by your decisions, and that you will do the adequate research and learning before getting started with credit cards. Remember, I will also say do not ever borrow money that you can't pay back, because that's obviously the fast track way to get into debt. It may be attractive to borrow money or take a loan, but if there's no guarantee of being able to pay it back, it will incur things like interest or extra fees, which will get you further in the hole. Also, full transparency, the links that I may refer to in this video will be referral links, so they will give me some kind of bonus or commission, and you will also get a bonus or commission in return for using those links, which is mutually beneficial, but I do have to disclose this legally. But using those links will help support this channel and the free content which I do put out and post, so I really do appreciate it. So why does the right credit card matter for dropshipping? Well, there's a few reasons, right? Dropshipping e-commerce, it involves a lot of concepts certain expenses. This could be via ad spend, inventory, or money spent on tools like product research tools to actually scrape the market and see what's working. There's so many benefits for reward points that you'll get from spending on a credit card, cashback opportunities you can take advantage of, and also a credit card is very crucial to scale because you can borrow money that you don't yet have because of cash flow restrictions, but that you know that you can pay back later. So it's basically like that lifeline, so you can actually scale up your business, which you can't really do as a beginner on a debit card. The right credit card can make or break your business, and it can improve cash flow flexibility and optimize the spending opportunities you have. So first of all, I'm just going to go over the first credit card which I actually got and took advantage of, and this one I would say is probably the best one for beginners based on my own personal anecdote and experience, and that is the American Express Gold Personal Rewards Card. Now I'm going to be going over the USA stats for these cards, but they may be similar for European and UK cards too. So the key features of the personal rewards card from Amex is that you'll get 4 times the points on restaurants and in US supermarkets when you spend on this card, up to a total of $25,000 annually. And also if you do book flights on this card through the Amex travel feature, you will get 3 times the points too. But for a lot of beginners, depending on your credit, you will obviously have a cap to your spending limit. I only started with around $1,000 or $2,000 at the start, and I had a little bit of savings, and my income was around the average level before I got success in dropshipping. So you may have some caps to your use for this card when you first get it. And these will obviously negatively impact your ability to scale, because when you want to scale to the big numbers, you won't be able to borrow the amount you actually need. But it can be good just to build up your credit slowly, and also just use it as a personal card too, to build up your credit and get more trusted, and then apply for one of the next cards. This is a great card for beginners in my personal opinion, because those reward points can be used for both personal use and also for your business as well. This can be quite an attractive card because it's very easily accessible for beginners who've just started the journey, who have those low to moderate spending needs at the beginning. Next up is the second card which I got, and this is actually another American Express card, and it's none other than potentially the most popular business card, and that's the American Express Gold Business, or the Amex Gold Business Card. Now if you do want to check out this card or apply for it, I will put an affiliate link down below. This will obviously give you some perks. I believe it gives you 30,000 free points for signing up if you use my link, and it will also give me 20,000 points too. So why is this card personally good? Well, you actually get up to 4 times the amount of points in various categories, specifically where your business actually spends the most during each billing cycle, which goes up to a level of 150k, which is $150,000 annually each year. Now there is quite a few flexible payment options with this card too, which makes it particularly attractive. So if you're primarily using this card to spend on ads on platforms like Facebook or Google, or use it to pay for your invoices for inventory, you can actually pay back the balance a little bit later than you have to on the personal rewards card. Now I can't remember the specific time frames, but this card will allow you to actually wait a little bit of a while before you pay back the balance before interest is incurred in relation to the personal card. So the personal card you have to pay back quicker on a smaller time frame, but the business card takes into account people who may have restricted cash flow, as is the case with e-com, so you will actually be able to have a longer duration until you have to pay back the balance. And of course, as with any Amex card, this is still also going to give you premium access to those reward programs, for example travel insurance and purchase protection too. And one thing I didn't mention when we were covering the last card, and this is also the case for the Gold Business Card as well, both cards will usually give you access to the airport lounges program. I believe the company's called Priority Pass. You'll basically get a free membership card to that, and then you'll have access to airport lounges all across the world too, which kind of has a premium feeling that you're part of that, and it gives you access to kind of rest at the airport when you're traveling and just kind of have some downtime too. So that's also a potential perk if that's something you're interested in if you travel a lot. So why is the Amex Gold Business Card actually useful for dropshipping? Why is it particularly attractive for e-commerce and online operations? Well, the reason for this is rewards are optimized for those ad spend or inventory purchases, so it makes it an extremely attractive card to use. We're going to be spending a lot on marketing and spending a lot on fulfilling product, which is going to build up our points quite quickly. And the spending limit of this card is going to be a lot higher on entry. In comparison to the personal card, I had like 10 times the spending limit just from the get-go. Perhaps that was because I built my credit a little bit already, but also the business card just has a higher spending limit from the onset, as long as you obviously get approved for it. And the the spending limit can be a little bit easily increased because you've got more legroom to spend more on it. Now, if you are interested, of course, yet again in the Amex Gold business card, check out the link down below this video in the description. It'll give you a special offer where you will get, I believe, 30,000 free points for getting approved once you sign up for the card, and that will in turn also give me 20,000 points too, which is granted less, but it's very mutually beneficial, and it'll help you get started, and it'll also help support the channel because I do post a lot of free e-commerce and dropshipping videos on this channel, and we don't really make any money for them. We just want to educate people. So now I'm going to go over a few other potential competitor cards or other attractive cards which you may want to consider. And these cards aren't particularly ones which I've personally used like the first two, but they have some attractive programs and bonuses to them. So I thought I'd cover them just to give you that kind of extra opportunity to have a pick between a few different insurance companies and cards which you may actually like more than the first two that I talked about. So I'm going to be reading off my notes for this one because for the first cards it was based on my personal experience, but for this I made a few notes based on my research. So the first one is the Chase Inc. business card. So this gives 5% cash back on office supplies and internet or phone services up to $25,000 annually. There's no annual fee and it's quite a beginner friendly card too. Now back to Amex, we have now not the gold but the Amex Blue business card. So this is the Blue Business Plus and it gives us 2 times the membership points on all purchases up to $50,000 annually. There's 0% intro APR for 12 months, the first 12 months, which is very helpful for managing cash flow because you're not going to be really scared about the interest accruing and the APR figure just ramping through the roof, which is also really nice, especially when we're trying to get a leg in the door. So this could be quite an attractive option. And then also here we have the Capital One Spark Cash Plus. So this gives unlimited 2% cash back on all the purchases that are made with this card, and it's really best in my opinion for intermediates who have that consistent high spending. So there's a few extra cards you may want to consider. And now I want to segue onto the next part of the video, which is of course talking about how do we actually choose the right card for us and our own personal situation. So for beginners, I'm still going to recommend start off with the Amex Gold Personal Rewards card or the Chase Inc. Business Cash card. Those are 2 good beginner cards before you advance onto maybe the Gold Business Amex. You want to focus on the perks and the flexibility of the card because these are going to be really attractive at the start. Now for businesses which are hitting scale, or for businesses who are interested in scaling, you've already made a little bit of headway and you want to move on to the next level, these are the cards potentially to think about. The best cards to move on to from step 1 to step 2 would obviously be the Gold Amex business card, the Amex Gold Business. I use this card currently, I really like this card. And also the Capital One Spark card is a good option too. You want to focus on optimizing the rewards that you get from these cards based on ad spend and inventory management. So let's do a little bit of a recap and do some final recommendations to close out this video. So the best card for scaling, all in all, my final pick is going to be the Amex Gold Business. And the best card for beginners, it has to be the Amex Gold Personal because I've personally used this card myself, so I can only recommend something I've actually used. But of course the honorable mentions, which we have to cover again, are going to be the Chase Inc. Business Cash card and the Amex Blue Business Plus, which I particularly like also. Now I'm going to say that you guys should be taking action based on the stage that you are in your business. So if you're starting out, go for those personal beginner cards, and if you're getting ready to scale up those ads, focus on those second tier business cards. Now I'm interested in the comments if you guys are actively doing e-commerce or dropshipping, or if you generally have some kind of online business or hustle. What are the credit cards you're personally using right now? Why do you use them, and what are the benefits and perks of those cards that make them particularly attractive to you? Let me know in the comments down below. Maybe those cards are better than some of the ones that I've been recommending. And also I do want to mention, if you do want to check out the Amex Gold business card, do use my link down below as mentioned in the previous segments of this video. And if you want to learn directly from me and some of my advanced strategies on dropshipping, you can check out the school community link down below too. That's $1 right now. I reveal one of my old winning products and a full case study on how I found that via product research and how I scaled up to around 5 figures with Facebook ads. So if you want to check that out, do join the community. And also link down below too will be my $1 million dropship blueprint video, which is completely free on YouTube, so you can check that out too. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. See you soon.